Hello again, DarkBlade88 here with an inbox review of the Airfix 1/72 scale Folland Gnat T.1. As with the chipmunk that I just did, it's the usual Airfix box. Box art on both ends. You get that little side there with the token, Flying Owls token, and a picture of the similar to the call outs on the bottom, and a bit of writing about it. It's another side open box, as I said with the chipmunk, not a big fan of them. As with the chipmunk, the decals, however you want to pronounce them, pronounce the word, are cartograph, which seems to be happening more and more often these days with Airfix. Right, I slice into the bag without trying to slice my fingers off. Any children watching, please don't do what I just did, otherwise you end up cutting yourself. Right, in the bag I'm greeted with 2 sprues of grey, and actually, unlike the chipmunk, it's sealed in the back. The canopy is sealed in the bag, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Right, we'll start with sprue A. Right, you get the... Right. So I have to excuse me while I have a quick slug of my drink. Right. As with the... Right, on sprue A, you get... It says you get both undersides of the wing and the top side. As you can see, they are nicely engraved. I don't think they're too deep. Same with the top half. So they're the undersides of the wing there, and the top half of the wing is pretty much the same, as you can see. Then you get these 2 bits at the bottom, depending on, because I had a quick look at the instructions before I did this. That one, or what you either use that bit or that bit, depending on how you're modelling the aircraft. Whether you're going to model it with gears up, gears down. I think that's part of the some external stores down here. That, I believe, is part of the canopy. Not canopy, part of the cockpit. There, as you can probably see, there's some detail in that little bit on. It says trying to get the bit he wants on the screen. There is some quite nice detail in the old gear bays rather, and I think those 2 bits there where my thumb is are to do with the engines. I could be wrong. The 2 little Airfix pilots, that actually seem, compared to some of the ones I've seen, actually quite well cast. And obviously you've got your two of your wheels under the wing. I am not being paid to do this. I bought this out on my own. Well, it came out as some birthday money I was given last year. And even if I was being paid to do it, I'll be honest, like most people would be. Right, and then you get, on this bit, you get your fuselage halves. As you can see, the fuselage halves, same sort of detail and that as everything else. There's all sorts on this sprue. I won't go too deeply into it because I'm trying to keep this one short but sweet. You've got your two seats. They actually have some back detail on your 2 seats as well. Obviously, for sticking it into the thing, you've got your control panel with no instruments on the instrument panel with no instruments on it. But as Chris S on the forum told me once on a post, that's how Airfix is. You don't tend to, unless it's in the bigger scales, I think, get a cockpit, get a instrument panel bit built in. Got some nice finely moulded detail on there. I think it's nice and fine, but others may disagree. And you've got your two air intakes up there, loads of other bits for your gear and that. At the moment I don't know whether I'll be modelling this gear up or gear down, but the gear bay, I was originally going to model it, looking at modelling it gear bay, gears up, but part of me thinks, because the gear bay's got such nice detail, should I? And then you've got the nice crisp cockpit, no blemishes or any other sort in there. Right, anyway, on to the instructions, or destructions as sometimes I like to call them. Right, take the decals or decals out of their hiding place. Like your typical Airfix fold out thing, you've got, unlike the Chipmunk, this is a bit more in depth. You've got 3 pages and 30 steps, depending on how you're going to build it. Some of the steps are question marked. And then on the back page, unlike the Chipmunk, you have got the stencil layout. I don't think on the Chipmunk you really need the stencil layout, because there's not that many stencils on it. With this being a trainer jet, it has, like usual Airfix decal, jobby, greaseproof paper type thing, or draft paper, whatever you want to call it, cartograph decals, decals. It says, by the looks of it, for this is for aircraft XP530. As you can see, there are the control panel decals at the top. As I said, done by Cartograph, beautifully done, which is quite, I think, brilliant. And I'm actually liking the fact that Airfix have gone to Cartograph, because I know some of their decals in the past haven't been that great, but people, modelers older than me, can probably tell you more about it than I can. And my next inbox review will be the 1/48 scale Messerschmitt BF109, because hopefully, and this is only hopefully, I will be entering the big spring contest this year. And that's hopefully, it depends on how I go and whether I can get away with putting the Ferrari, whether I can get away with putting the Ferrari in storage, which, well, actually, as soon as I'm building it for myself, I can get away with doing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Before I say goodbye, there's one thing I'd like to say, is I'd love to know who'd asked for what. That way I can kind of personally thank them in my next video for actually helping me, because it's actually helping me no end with being confident, I feel, in front of the camera rather. Anyway, goodbye.